Oh yeah. Yeah. What's up, my peeps? What y'all got going on out there? Matter of fact, get up. Get up. Get up. It's almost 12 o'clock. Y'all still over there asleep? Get on up. It's a beautiful day outside today. Y'all over here asleep. What y'all got going on? What's up with y'all, man? Hopefully everybody's doing good out there. Man, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed to the channel and all of my previous subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Matter of fact, if it's your first time watching one of my videos, hit that subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos, hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up. Hey, especially if you like it. Especially if you like it. What I got going on today is this is my weekly. They're all weekly. I always say that on every video. I need a script. I need an actual script, man, because I say the same thing every single time. This is my weekly yard. It's like they're all weekly. But anyway, at this yard, what I gotta do is pick up the little lawn debris and palms and stuff like that. I'm gonna edge it, weed it, do my regular maintenance, and I'm gonna probably spray weed killer over here as well. I'm gonna probably spray weed killer over here as well. So that's what I got at this house. I've been out though. I've been out cutting yards for, I don't know, probably about 4 hours, 3-4 hours. I've been out here. It's a nice day too. They say it's supposed to get up to like 80. So it's gonna be a warm one. It's gonna be a warm one. Next week, man, we full bloom. Everything will be weekly. What I've been doing is I've been skipping houses. If they don't need it, even though it's a weekly account, I don't do it. One thing I don't believe in is charging somebody for something that they don't need, But come next week, it's first week of March, so everything will start blossoming. And so all of my customers, they know what's going on at this point. And everybody is happy. All of the ones that stayed. Oh, here's an update too. So I made a post last week. No, it might have been this week. It was either this week or last week. But one of my clients have ran into an unfortunate event, an unfortunate set of circumstances. And so I made the post on YouTube, and I was just saying how I had cleaned up the yard, for the next lawn guy or whatever. Hold on for a second. Yeah. So they were like, yeah, um, they wasn't gonna be able to stay on with me. Long story less long, they are staying on with me, even with the increase in price, as well as everything else. So I was like, okay. So I gotta make another post, and I gotta say how grateful I am that they stayed on. And which I really am grateful, because that one person brought in 2 yards, because I do their yard and one of their family members' yard as well. So it helps. It definitely helps. That's one or two less yards I got to worry about trying to advertise for. All right, let's get it. I know I might be out of view. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. All right, walk with me. yeah, so like I say, I really am grateful because that's one less yard I got to worry about trying to advertise for. So I start off the season in complete profit. Walk with me. Yeah, so I just potentially picked up another yard yesterday. And matter of fact, I'm gonna take you all the way to the end. Yeah, I just potentially picked up another yard yesterday. They had hit me up and I asked about the address and stuff. I'm still waiting for that. So it be like that sometimes. Sometimes you somebody will send you a message and they'll email you or whatever. And then you ask for the information. And then it might take a day or so. Because sometimes what you'll have is people like just moving into their house or, you know, whatever. And so sometimes it takes a little time, but they'll get back to me though. I'm for sure about that. So I'm out of view. Bear with me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm wounding the actual weed. And you do that because what you don't want is when you start to kill it, when you go to kill it, what you don't want is for there to be a big weed, a big dead weed. And so, and you want to make sure that you can kill it, because like I tell my customers, like whenever the weed killer leaves my book bag sprayer, my backpack sprayer, it's their budget. Like they're getting charged for it. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm giving my client the best possible chance, and I'm making sure that I'm giving them the best bang for their buck as well. Because like I say, once they leave out of my sprayer and onto the grass, they're paying for it. It's no longer my problem. So I want to make sure that I'm saving my customer, and I'm treating my client right. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now I haven't been over here in a few weeks, so that's why the weeds look as bad as they do. But because I will be going, because I will be coming over here every week, start next week, man, these weeds are gonna be gone. You won't see any weeds because I'll be able to stay on top of them. That's another reason why I love doing weekly versus bi-weekly. You can stay on top of everything. Like there would be no reason for any weeds to be sprouting up with me coming out here every week. No reason at all. I know I'm out of view, so y'all just bear with me. with me. But yeah, these weeds will be a thing over the past in the next few days. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push more. I was gonna bring the 36 out, but I think the push more will look a little bit better for the cut on this one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And for this yard, 2.5 would be 2.5 would be perfect. During the spring and summertime, I don't really drop my deck that low, but because it's really like a lot of weeds, it ain't gonna hurt anything. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. I heard some people talking about basically their year and what their plan is, like what their goals are for this year. So I'll chime in and kind of put my goals out there as well. But basically mine are just to kind of focus on my partners. So I was talking about this last year. I'm going to be subcontracting a lot of my work out. And so that's really like my main focus this year is like trying to get with some good partners I can sub out my lawn accounts to, and kind of build from there. As far as lawn care goes, as far as like me with the maintenance side of it, my biggest goal was to kind of trim down a little bit. Last year at my peak, I had like 70 something accounts. Most of them were bi-weekly though. And so at this point, every yard that I have right now is a weekly account. And I didn't want nothing more than about 20, 25, 30 at the max. And so with the clients that stayed on, because I was dropping clients last year, once I got up to my peak number, I started dropping people because it just became too much of a headache for me. So I'm like, man, I can't continue to work like this. So I just started dropping people, and I think at my lowest I had like 30 something accounts. Um, those became my weekly customers. And then the ones that wasn't weekly, the ones that were like bi-weekly, I was like, this year you're gonna have to be weekly. So all of those people that I sent messages out to, except for really like one person at this point, it was like two, but because the other person came back or they didn't leave, it's really like one person that canceled. So 25, 30 yards max. That's kind of like my peak of what I'm trying to stay at. Um, the cost per yard is my minimum cost is anywhere from 30 on up. I think the highest that I have at this point is $65 yards. So that's $65 every visit. And most of my no, not most. A good little bit of my yards at this point are like in the $65 range. So you add that up, I'm making way more money this year than I was last year. Basically at my peak. So, but anyway, let's get it. Let me see if I'm still in focus. Yeah, I'll tell y'all though. All right. All right. Let's get it. I need to run. I need to do some cardio. I was talking to my wife. My wife say, "Dang, why you breathing so hard?" Oh man. Yeah, my wife was like, "Breathing so hard." Tired. I've been trying to get back into the gym, but I don't know. It's kind of hard at this point. It'd be kind of hard at this point. I still do, man. Probably about once or twice a week, which is not the best, but it's better than doing nothing at all. I normally do for probably about an hour and a half. I was listening to a guy. He was talking about pricing, and he was saying how much he charges to cut grass. Hold on. The guy said his minimum is $70. I was like, oh, that's nice. That's good. I was like, well, oh, let me knock the blowing out. Let me knock the blowing out real quick so I can and not have to worry about, the noise distracting us. But just keep in mind what I just said. Remind me if I forget. All right. Yeah. Remind me if I forget. Man, we 46 minutes in. was listening to the guy. The guy say, man, he charges $70 per visit. So I was like, oh, nice, man. So he was like, yeah, you know, the lawn guy who charging $50, he gonna come out there and he'll do the same yard that I'm doing for 70 for 50. Oh, I was listening to it. I'm like, yeah, might be right. So I asked, I was like, well, are you charging weekly or are you charging bi-weekly? And so the answer, he was like, he's charging bi-weekly. So I say, okay, nice. So, are these big yards? They're like, yeah, they pretty good size, $70 yards. I was like, okay, nice, man. So I was like, well, if it was me, I would go out there and even though it's a big yard, I would charge $40 a visit. So he was like, man, $40 a visit. And you how you gonna do it? I say, well, I would go out there every week. Man, no, I ain't going out there for I ain't going out every week for no $40. Nah, man. Nah, you sound like the other guy. You sound like the guy who I was talking about. I was like, well, let me ask you this. Is the guy that you talking about, is he doing it on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis? Oh, he was like, well, I'm just saying in general. So I broke the math down to him. I say, man, look, you got a $70 yard, right? He like, yeah. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, I go out there every week for 40. I'm like, you going out there every other week for 70. Man, do the math. So he did the math. He like, oh, snap. You'll be making $10 more than I do. I'm like, right. And then once we started adding up the math, he really started seeing just how much money he was leaving on the table. So I had to kind of school him. I'm like, man, don't think that you're all that because you charge $70 for a yard that you probably should be charging more than that. Or you probably could be charging, $70 per week. I'm like, man, $70 every other week ain't nothing but $35 every week. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, you might be charging 70, but you ain't making 70. Like, man, you probably making more like 15 in profit. And so that's a lesson for any lawn care owner, whether you're new or you're seasoned. It's one of those things that you have to be very careful with how you're pricing things and the way in which you're pricing things, because what you may think is just the most money ever, your customer may think, I just got one sucker. They may think like, man, this is the best price I've ever had, since I've had my property. And so that was the lesson that I had to try to tell the guy, I'm like, man, you're really not doing anything special. Just because you're charging $70 every other week. It's not anything special, man. I had to kind of humble him because the way in which he was talking, he was kind of like talking down about other lawn care professionals. And it's like, man, at the end of the day, we're all just out here just trying to make a living, you know? And even though you may think that you know just so much, it's like, man, you may not know as much as you think you know. Hey, hold on for a second. I need to refill my backpack. But I was just telling them, like, man, you know, you might not know as much as you think you know. And you probably ain't making as much money as you could be making. So I get it. It's like, you know, you're happy because you're charging what you're charging. But man, at the end of the day, you still underbidding yourself. Still underbidding yourself. This yard right here that I'm doing right now, I am charging I think $50 a week for, right? Maybe 55. Let's just say it's 50. So every week I come out here and or every month I'm making $200 off this yard. Now somebody may look at that and be like, man, that's an $80 yard. And then my question would be, well, is it an $80 yard? Is it an $80 yard when you're making $160 a month? Or is it a $200 yard? So it's one of those things that it's like, man, you have to know your numbers. Like, for me, I'm not, like, I've been out here for a little over an hour probably at this point. But you got to think about it like this, right? I'm on my phone, I'm recording, I'm stopping and I'm talking. Like, man, if I was just out here just doing this yard without anything extra, just me just, you know, just going out here just doing the yard, man, I'd knock this yard out in 20 minutes. 30 at max. But I'm kind of, you know, horse playing a little bit because I'm talking. So you gotta really like know your numbers. This is a $50 yard for me, $200 a month. I charge extra for bushes. I charge extra for spraying the weeds. I charge extra for all of these different things that I do. And so I'm never losing, like never. Like all of the stuff that I'm doing now, I'm gonna charge my client for this, like all of it. And so for me, it's never a loss, like ever. And I think like that's the thing. It's like, man, do you want to be out here, you know, 2.5 hours in the summertime trying to cut this yard, or would you rather be out here for, you know, 25, 30 minutes cutting the yard? It's like, which one would you rather? So that's the biggest thing. It's like you gotta know your numbers, man. You really do. And always be humble and willing to learn something that you may not know. Always be humble, man. Always. I'm humble, and I've been out here for almost 20 years doing this, and I'm still humble because I know it's things that I can learn. You know, I don't know everything. I don't even, a lot of stuff, I really don't even try to like tell people. or teach people, because it's like what works for me may not work for you. You know, like it just may not work. So it's just one of those things that I always try to keep that stuff in mind. But man, when I hear people like this guy who is literally kind of like selling out, it's like those be the type of people that I really don't have any patience for. I don't have any tolerance for that type of stuff. There's no reason for us to bully each other. That's the one thing that I like about the YouTube community is, man, everybody is supportive. You know, I'm communicating with a whole lot of these guys that's on here, and everybody is doing their thing. And it's like that's how it should be. It should be each one teach one. You know, each one teach one. Like that's how it should be. In my eyes, anyway. And even with my subcontracting, right? Like my lawn pros, my partners, they're making it's an 80-20 split with them making the 80 and us making the 20, right? And so some people would be like, man, that don't even make any sense. Like why would you take so little and give them so much? Like, man, because they're the ones who's doing the work, you know. With me, I'm 37, right? So it's like it's things that I just don't want to have to do it for. Like I don't want to have 50 to 60 yards to try to make a living. I don't want to do that. So I take a cut and I'll let, you know, my partners maintain the yards. I can't maintain 50 or 60 yards, not per week, not by myself. Can't do it. But one thing that I found out is, which is the reason why I even started doing it. One thing I found out is like by subcontracting to my partners, it gives them a sense of ownership, right? And I think like that's the best thing in the world. It's like even if they don't know how to get the yards themselves, just them being able to go out and make the money that they're making to be able to support their family, it makes them want to get out here and get it, you know, and it makes them want to perform right. It makes them want to do the job right. And so those people are way better than employees because if something happens, they know that they got to pay for it. They got to have insurance. They got to have uniforms on. They got to come out to the job. They can't smoke. They can't be, you know, coming drunk. These people know this, and so they don't do it. You know, they don't do it. And I don't have that many people at this point. I got a few, but all of this stuff is compounding. It's like this year, I got 3 people. I might have 6 before the year is over with. But next year, I may have 7. I may have 12. Like it's all compounded, man. And yeah, like I'm not making a ton of money, right? But I got people that is helping me get my brand out there more, my business out there more, helping me build up my reputation more. And it's so much more that can come through from that, right? So like we do the planters for the flowers, the basically landscape decor. So we do all of this, right? And so those people are people that they are like automatic customers to the products that we sell. So yeah, we might not make as much on the front end, but on the back end, we're making a killing because we can sell our landscape decor, we can sell landscaping jobs, we can do all of these different things, and we can split the money with our partners, or I can go out there and I can do it myself. So it's always extra money that could be made at the end of the day. And people love decor. They love flower pots. We got a lot of plant moms, plant dads. We got a lot of that. So, man, people buying that stuff up. People are buying that stuff up. Now, not only does that put money in our pockets, not only are we putting money in the pockets of our lawn pros and our lawn partners, but we're also putting money in the pockets of these designers that are creating the pots. You know, I talked about it the other day on my shop tour, and I was like, dang, I kind of misspoke because I was saying that we was going to take everything in-house, and that is true, but only for certain things. You know, it's not everything that we're going to bring in-house. It's like, man, we still have partners that they do ceramic, and those are great for inside, you know. And so it's like, man, this stuff is putting money in people's pockets. Like, I'm really stimulating the economy. Me and with the help of my pros, man, shoot, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And so it just works. But see, what works for me might not work for you. You might be like, you gotta keep 100% of everything. In my mind, 100% of nothing is still nothing. So I'd rather get 20% of something that's coming in versus 100% of nothing. Every yard that my lawn partner is doing is a yard that I don't have to do, and it's a yard that I may not even be able to do potentially. So at the end of the day, it's like, man, you gotta think smart. You know, you gotta think smart. And I look at things like in a kingdom fashion, right? Like, how would God do it? You know, even when it comes down to business, like, man, how would God do this? You know, how would God do this? But I don't know, I'm different. Anyway, I know I'm on a rant at this point, and man, some people probably like, okay, I don't know, you probably done already checked out, but I don't know. That was just my little thoughts, man. Never act like you are, never think that you are better than what you actually are. And never try to down people to try to make yourself look good, you know? Like, don't do that. Don't do it. Everybody is out here trying to feed their family or, you know, make a better life for themselves. And if you go do something, try to lift people up. So, with that being said, man, I don't want to continue wasting your time. Hopefully, it wasn't a waste of your time, but I don't want to continue babbling. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and yeah, I'm out.